Check us out and follow us on Instagram at not_surprised_media, YouTube at Not Surprised Media, and the X or Twitter, whatever you want to fucking call it, at NotSurprised_PC. Now, sit back, put those feet up, and listen to the show.
I think they're fucking scared of the fucking New York troopers and shit. The
Yeah.
people, the New Yorkers, because they don't move as fast.
No.
Even at that time, they don't move as fast on the highway like you think they would.
No, they're
hell no.
Hell no.
No, those New York troopers,
They're not fucking around. I think
They don't fuck around like
as far at least tickets and shit, because those nobody was fucking floating.
yeah. No, they're a different agency than
I'm like, yo,
up
maybe
here.
I should slow the fuck down.
Oh no, they will go out there and they will pull you the fuck over and give you a fucking ticket. They give zero.
They don't
fucks
give a
out
fuck
there.
if you're in the military, police. They don't give a
No,
fuck.
they I don't know about military. I know a lot of guys don't care about military, but they extend a professional courtesy to other officers.
Yeah. I know Mass doesn't give a fuck about
Oh,
military.
dude, yeah, I got
They
pulled over.
I got pulled over. They fucking threw the ID back at me. They're like, "Give me." I don't give a fuck. They literally threw their fucking ID. I was like, "Okay, I guess."
Wait, you said military or your officer
well,
ID?
at the time, it was military.
Military, they don't care about.
No. They like fucking flick that shit. I was like, "What the
And to
fuck?"
some-
Yeah, like fuck that.
I feel like in some respect, no one really talks about extending professional courtesy to military in general.
I do.
A lot of guys
Depends
don't.
on what the fuck you're doing though.
Yeah.
If you're acting like a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the same I would do for any other cop almost.
Yeah, for like a cop, like I feel like you work with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially like a bordering or surrounding state, like you're gonna at some point.
What about
Crossover.
medics?
Medics, nurses.
I do.
Nurses,
fire, dispatch.
nurses,
Dispatchers, I do.
Anybody who I could see
Fire.
anybody who I'm going to see at a call, yeah, you're gonna get a professional courtesy.
Yeah.
Dispatchers,
There's
Fix your
I
face.
do.
There's times.
Fix your entire
I
face.
do.
and
There's
attitude.
times where you pull over a
Nah, I
statey
do.
and they're like, oh, I'm a state trooper, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, I don't give a fuck. Like, you know what I mean?
If that's the first thing you're
The
leading
issue
with,
is,
we got a problem.
the issue with cops is like, if you immediately go into like, I'm a cop, you need to give me the professional
Well,
courtesy.
yeah,
I'm
it's a
just
fucking
like,
annoying.
Dude, I was gonna give you a warning anyways. Now that you're being a fucking asshole.
Now you're making it seem like you told me to do it.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
No,
all you
I
gotta
don't
do is present your police ID and you're good. Like I happened to me the other day. I'm like, dude, they're doing something. I have to run you. I'm like, so I don't know if you have to call somebody, but like, yeah, just a verbal.
Yeah.
Just make sure you get this because his plate was expired. Like, yeah, just get that squared away later.
Yeah, just get it
Verbal.
fixed.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah. So like, I know Frank, you've been on for
Long
a while, right?
Yeah, since I'm 95, you motherfucker.
He does call you old a lot.
Damn, he did not forget that.
I mean, he is. Oh, he's not the youngest in the room today.
I'm not.
Yeah.
So
You're not.
like
Congratulations.
being like a, am I older than you?
no, because I'm
Not?
older than her.
No, yeah.
You're older than her?
Yeah.
Oh.
Damn.
Okay, first of all, I saw the
I'm
look you
older
gave
than
me
you.
Yeah, but
after.
Am I older than
I
you?
think I'm
No,
I'm not older than you?
no.
like
He's-
10 years older, right?
He's the oldest. Yeah, he's oldest than him.
Damn.
Me than you.
How old are you?
32.
Yeah, we got you.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I was 14 when you were born.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Damn.
Being a cop right this long, right? Did you ever notice that you like just like I don't want to say like lost hope, but you were just like fuck this, like
Maybe not fuck this, but you see that the courts and shit don't do anything.
yeah.
So you're kind of
Because
like,
they still have immunity.
yeah. They shouldn't have that immunity at all for some of the dumb decisions they make.
Yeah.
But they don't give a fuck. The politicians don't give a fuck. So, yeah, in that respect, yeah. But, like, even, like, some of the simple calls, those are rewarding, I would say.
So as a tenured cop, right, there's always the stigma of, like, oh, the older cops, they don't give a fuck, or they're...
No, we do.
Salty.
They're salty, they're
we're
lazy
salty.
or whatever. Do you, like, what's your stance on, like, getting shit talked upon you from guys that have, like, a year or two on the force? Like, how is
I don't
that?
even listen, really.
No,
It's laughable.
How would they even have the balls to say something?
That's the issue.
But I think...
now they're more emboldened, and they think...
Put them in their place.
Yeah,
But here's the deal. Now you try to put them in their place, and they start...
it's a problem.
They start going to higher-ups about you, and they start talking and blah,
My
blah, blah.
department, that is encouraged. Shut your mouth.
Yeah.
You listen to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And that's how it was when
it's
I was...
very still
When
like
I was
that
in
on my department.
corrections, they wouldn't even talk to you.
Oh, it's still like that over
going,
there.
Like going
Yeah.
towards your department, right? Let's just say I come off of being a cop for 5 years, and I transition to your PD, right? I want to be in your PD now. Do those guys that have there's guys that are coming out to your PD now that have a year or two, right? Is the guy going from one PD that has the tenure, is he going to be treated the same as one guy with 1 year experience? Because now they're in a new PD, right?
So if you're talking 5 years,
Yeah.
you're still going to be treated kind of like trash because after a certain amount of time,
It's got to be like
By
after
guys
5
that
years.
have been in your PD for like a year or two.
a year, even though coming off of 5 years, or they're brand new.
So I've been a cop for XYZ years,
Yeah.
right? And I transferred to your PD,
Yeah.
right? And but let's say you've been on for 2-3 years,
Yeah.
right? Are you gonna look down upon me? Because technically,
I'm
I'm,
not gonna
new
look-
to you.
I'm not
going
going to look down upon you, but you're not going to get any senior position over me.
No, of course, but
That's all.
But is it
I'll
gonna-
look at it as seniority. I'm not going to look at you. I'm going to be like, oh, this dude has experience.
Yeah. It's not gonna be it.
It's not an issue.
right.
But like, you're going to have to be like, if we do something differently, if you're used to doing something one way, I'm like, listen,
No, you got
We do
to...
that's
shit
your
here
way,
this
but like,
way.
You
you
gotta
got to do
conform.
it. You got to, we got a different form for that. Like,
yeah.
or no, like, oh, you could do it. That's not wrong, but we don't do that over here. Or it's like, don't do that because we don't do that.
I
over
don't think
here.
you'll get treated like a rookie
You're not going to get treated like a rookie, but
because
also-
you've done things and you have experience.
yeah, but at the same time, though, you're with only 5 years on, you're still considered.
a rookie.
No.
You're still
Yeah.
considered junior until
Yep.
you hit a certain.
by guys
certain
that are
threshold.
technically junior to you in the profession, or like
Just in general.
Just in general.
That's my rule,
We're talking
too.
total years on from one department. If you have 5 years on here and like 1 year on here, you're still considered junior in my department. So
Yep. That's always been my rule. 5 years and under, you're still like a junior rookie.
Yeah.
And then after that, then you're fine.
yeah, even once you hit the, I don't want to give it away, but once you hit a certain spot,
Yeah.
then you're considered more senior.
Yeah.
But it's very like
I-
I'm not going to
so-
disrespect
so-
someone that like I said, like one of our dispatchers was a cop for 25 plus years.
Yeah.
And the other day I went up to him and I was like, "Hey, have you seen this?" Because our desk guy was busy at the moment, and I'm like, "Yo, have you seen this before?" And we just talked something over.
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh, thanks, I appreciate it."
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, this means nothing." I'm like, "All right, perfect."
Yeah.
So I still respect them because everyone has their different experiences. You're gonna experience something, and me and my partner the other day we were talking. We're just like city cops. I mean, they're more squared away in us than some points. Can you cut that? Thank you.
So I guess the question is like, you're going from one PD
Because
to
this is
another, or
different.
one agency to another, right? And let's just say Frank has 5 years, or I have 5 years, right? And we go there, and guys that are, that have had a year or two, are they gonna go like, this guy's fucking new? Like, what the fuck does he know?
It's not even that. Some guys are just fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But I mean, it also depends. Like different. We were talking about earlier, different geographical problems. Like we were dealing with deers and moose, and you guys deal with more drugs and drug interdiction and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We deal with we have that, not as much. We deal with like a lot of domestics, and like I hate Sunday nights because I feel like that's when all the domestics come in. I swear to God, it's Sunday night.
Yeah.
They fucking go nuts.
Yo, like I spent all weekend with these motherfuckers.
Dude, it could be dead all day, and then once 1 o'clock hits,
exactly.
Boom, boom.
they all wake up. You know what it is? It's the same thing in the jail, too.
Mm-hmm.
So you could work, let's say you're working Friday in the jail. They're up all fucking night, right? They go crazy and crazy and crazy, and then they fucking start to go to bed at like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yep.
Day shift comes in the next day,
Now
and
they're
it's
hacked
fucking
up like-
dead.
Yeah, right.
Because they're knocked the fuck out.
Right.
Then all of a sudden they start waking up after lunch, 1, 2 o'clock. They start waking up, and they're going crazy all up. They're night creatures.
So how do you feel about like newer cops that are getting on, right? Let's just say the department's fairly new, right? 90% of the department has less than 5 years on. And now
That's
you're
a problem.
and now you're getting the reputation of he's fucking lazy or he's doing XYZ. But you have the tenure, you have the experience, you have all this shit. How do you deal with 90% of the PD, which is under you, thinking like this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's even talking about?
At some point, you don't deal with it.
Yeah, you just kind of
But
don't.
you have to because you're involved in that department. You're there.
Nah.
You're there.
Square
You're
your,
there.
square your own calls away.
Yep, I
Make
do
sure
what I
you're
got to
squared
do.
away.
If you have a question,
Yeah.
I'll answer your question.
Yeah.
But if you act like you know it all, then you're on your own. You're going to know
but
it all.
most people, including cops, nowadays they think they know everything.
Yeah, well, then they could deal with it.
The issue,
they could deal with
so
everything.
Policing is not the same as it was 10 years ago.
No.
At least. Right?
No.
So
If
now most cops that are in certain departments, right, have 1, 2, 3 years on.
Yeah.
And
they act
think
like they've
know
been on
everything.
for fucking forever.
Yes, the entitlement.
Oh, why don't you do this? Why don't you? No, first of all,
Yeah.
I was doing this already for so many years.
You're not
Almost
changing
two decades.
But
We got a guy like that. He's like, you're not changing my report style.
But the supervisors that are on they have 5 years. You know what I mean?
Some of them,
So how do you get around that when
They have-
that 90% includes your fucking
you
superiors?
know what I've noticed though, with that,
Yeah,
and you see it different than I do because
right. I've been on
I noticed
a third of the time that
that-
you've been on.
they kind of, at least for me, respect it a little bit more.
They leave you alone more.
Yeah, they do leave me alone more. Do you see what I'm saying?
There's a respect factor there because it's
Yeah.
kind of like,
I'm not
think of it military. All right, is a lieutenant, a brand new lieutenant, going to tell you what to do?
I mean,
What-
technically they can. That's
They
the
can,
issue.
but
No,
are they going to
they
show
can.
you? But are they going to show you a bit of respect?
There's a
Since
courtesy thing. Yeah.
it's the same.
Yeah,
thing.
I could. I see that courtesy. Obviously, you got to show them respect too for their position.
Yeah, you
and
got to show.
everything.
You got to.
I do that.
You're respecting the position, not the person.
No, sometimes the person, sometimes, but yeah, overall,
You
you're
have to know your
respecting-
role.
Yeah, I know. Hey, they got to this thing. I'll respect them for being a sergeant and a lieutenant, but they do show me respect. Of hey, I was here 17 years before
what
you
do
started.
What do you do when they? What do you do when they don't? Mind you, they've been on for 5, going on. Let's just say,
And
let's
they're
just say it's even
disrespectful?
let's just say it's even 10 years. Right?
Well,
And they go, you need to do fucking this way because I tell you to. Like,
Okay,
how
and
do you
then-
go about, not, I don't want to say like going like, hey, I've been here fucking twice as long as you have.
so
Because a lot of the times they forget where they started.
yeah,
And you
But
were
it-
their FTO at one point. You know
if
what I mean?
My master sergeant and sergeant are like that.
Like-
we get along though, but
Yeah.
if are they being disrespectful when they tell me? Okay,
Let's just say no.
okay. Well, if they want a certain way, and I'll explain, say, well, this is why I do it, and this is why this has to go this way. But if you want me to do it your way, I'll do it that way.
yeah,
That's fine.
it's your problem. You signed off on it. You told me
Yeah,
to do it that way.
but it's gonna be under your name.
So a big issue is like guys that have been on for like let's say 4 or 5 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have the brand new cops that are getting off the road, and they're already entitled.
And they're teaching
Because
them fucking shit they don't
the
even
chief
know.
goes, we specifically hired you because you were above all these other candidates. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they already are in
They're
that
already
mentality.
amped up.
Yeah, they're in that mentality of like, I'm the best of the best because I got.
I think we were all kind of that way too.
So say okay, you get there, but
Yeah,
then you
but
get to a
back-
call that you never had, and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, but 10 years ago, that would have been corrected by the sergeant. Now the sergeant is.
It would have
a
been
rookie.
corrected. It would have been corrected by your fellow officer.
It's
But now that's
my
not
department.
that's not the case.
Nope.
Because
My
now the
department is still corrected by your fellow.
yes, but
Yeah.
a department usually, right? You know, nowadays
Yeah.
most of the cops have 1 to 2 years on, they already feel entitled and they go, oh, this is how we do things, and I think we should do things this way.
Yeah.
There's guys that are senior to me, but they're still not senior in the department, and I'm just like, shut up and go away. Like, I'll call them off calls because I'm like, you suck. Like,
Yeah.
I'll deal with it myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just don't deal with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Because like a lot of the guys who are senior to me
So
are
is-
younger than me.
so is this
and
a-
I'm like, you have no I have more life experience than you. I don't give a shit how long you've had this job.
So
for.
that
Get
goes
the fuck
in.
away from me
So
because
that
they're
goes
just
in-
stupid.
So that goes into should cops be hired when they're 21? Because I see that a lot too. Because like, how are you as a 21-year-old, right? You get hired as a cop, gonna go into a house with 2 40-year-olds, 2 50-year-olds.
Depends on their maturity level.
And you're
There's
having,
maturity
even
level,
if you're-
and it's also a young man's game.
even if you're
Yep.
even if you're a 21-year-old, right? Let's just say you're a 21-year-old. Sure, your maturity, whatever, right? You're gonna go into a fucking house of 2 50-year-olds that have been
established
together,
dominance.
over- and you've been and these people have been in a relationship for 12 years, and you're gonna tell them how to live their fucking life.
Well, apparently they can't make the decision for themselves, so someone's gonna have to make
Yeah.
it for them.
But how can you
So-
tell me that 21-year-old has the life
They
experience
don't.
to fucking?
They don't.
They
But-
don't. But you know what? You have to figure it out.
You have to have a common sense too. Say, listen, if I get there, they're arguing, I'm separating everybody. You can't separate. Well, here's the deal. Either you separate and go with that other officer, or I'm going to put you in that car there. You can't talk to me like that. I could be your father. I said, if you were my father, you wouldn't be acting like that.
But this is you,
exactly.
right?
Well, that's
A
me.
21-year-old, right? Let's just say you and your wife, right? You're having a domestic dispute. For whatever reason, you decided that you couldn't handle it, that you need to call cops, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a 21-year-old shows up to your fucking door, and he is now going to tell you,
It depends on how
are you
this
gonna
person
be like,
comes
okay,
off.
I'm gonna listen to this guy, even though he's never been married, doesn't have kids, and can't, and just got on the force?
Rely on your training, rely on your experiences and other stories. You have to talk to other guys at that point to understand, like, what do I do in that situation?
Of course,
let's
a
just say
senior.
you're a state trooper and you're there by yourself. It's just
They
Yeah,
still
but
go
you
with
could have
backup.
a-
They still go with backup.
You could have a 25-year-old or a 30-year-old who still wouldn't be able to fucking have the life experience to go handle a domestic or something. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's all on the maturity level,
Listen,
and then how you talk to people.
I got on this job old,
Mm-hmm.
no, not married, no kids, and I still tell people, like, no, I don't care. Go over there.
Yeah.
Like, because you couldn't, and I tell them, like, listen, since you guys couldn't figure it out, you guys called me, so that's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
And depending on how they're acting is depending on how I deliver
Yeah.
that message.
Right.
Exactly.
Or if you want to keep acting up and want to start raising hell and keep up this discon, all right, turn around.
Yeah,
Go.
we're just gonna finish it quick. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
The longer you give them the opportunity to fucking start mouthing off, the more emboldened they get.
Yeah.
The more the risk of violence or other shit starts happening.
Starts
You have to
escalating.
nip that fucking shit in the bud. If I gotta fucking yell at you and tell you sit the fuck down, that's what I gotta do.
Yeah.
That's why command
I
presence
guess-
is taught in the
yeah,
academy.
I guess my question was, how do you feel about guys getting on the job with zero life experience, being 21?
I know people that have gotten on that they worked at a cell phone store before they worked there. You know what I mean?
Right.
They lived with their
I guess
parents.
my question is,
I had this one guy pushing shopping carts in my
do
class.
you want
Yeah.
do you want the guys that are coming in?
We have
to
no
be-
choice.
to be old? No, I get, but to
Yeah.
you, being experienced, right? Do you feel that it is more beneficial for the people getting on our job to be older than 21, or are you okay with 21-year-olds coming
21
in
is
and
fine.
being able to fucking determine other people's lives?
21 is fine. I don't think fucking some 40-year-olds should be determining shit. But I think you should start in corrections. I'm not saying corrections is any safer.
Yeah.
But now you're dealing with all types of people. You're dealing with the criminals
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah.
And you're going to see how they con you. You're going to see how they try to manipulate you and tell you bullshit and fucking lie to your face. A lot of these people never got lied to their face.
Yeah, right.
And they're like, holy shit, the dude fucking lied to me.
People that have never been in a physical altercation, people that have never been confronted, people that have never had any life experience get to go into a house and tell people, you need to do X, Y, Z.
Unfortunately, that's the way our society goes, and we need it.
Unfortunately, I feel like there needs to be more. It needs to be scrutinized more. Where it needs to be like, you just got out of college. You live with your parents all of your life.
I say go to corrections for a year or two.
Yeah.
See if you could deal with that type of person. Know how they act. It's just it's more just a.
I don't think you're wrong at all in your assessment because I have a classmate who was 21 when he got on. Actually, a couple of them were 21.
Yeah.
And maturity levels not there.
Yeah.
Not there. If on top and nothing against him,
But
he can't
how do you
help
weed
it.
that out?
His size was also not helpful. Like he is short, but I also have an instructor who was that short, and I'm like, I ain't fucking with that.
Right.
And I'm 6 feet. I'm like, he's like 5'6". I ain't fucking with him.
Yeah.
So it's
how do you weed that out? How do you go? Because sure, this 21-year-old kid has never gotten any problems.
FTO program should weed it out.
Yeah, but
they
nowadays it's more of a we're gonna pass everybody because
then that's their fucking
fault. It's a manpower problem.
Well, then you're gonna get a fucking.
Is there a fixing?
You're gonna get. You have to get not. The way to fix it is through FTO. Once they're done with the academy and they start acting like they have officer safety issues, they can't fucking talk to people, then they gotta fucking go.
But people like that are passing. That's my issue.
Then that's not our problem. That's the fucking department problem. And then as that person gets older into the job, they're gonna start being more of a liability. And now you're fucking getting lawsuits. They're fighting people they shouldn't have to be fucking fighting. They're doing all types of shit. They're taking.
But there's people now that have been on at least 5 years that are having those issues because they were let off.
Well, that's the FTO's problem, and that's the fucking. That's the. I would say the academy problem because I guess there's still a part of that, right?
Listen, there's when we got on, you got to take a test.
Yeah.
You got to go through a physical agility. You got to go through a background, a psych eval. There's a lot of things that you got to go through.
Yeah.
And sometimes things get through the cracks.
Right.
You know, it's.
I feel like more people have gone through those cracks.
There's definitely more because
I've seen a lot of people
the selection process has been very
minimal.
Yeah.
It's recruitment in Connecticut sucks.
So there used to be thousands, and now there's like 40 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy. Nope. I mean, I've seen people getting second and third fucking chances on FTO.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness, my department.
I'm like, what the fuck?
We used to have a crazy issue with FTO, crazy issue, and they started nipping that in the butt more. I had a classmate who was a good dude, but he didn't make it.
Yeah, sorry, it ain't working out.
Yeah, and he went back to. Here's the shitty thing though. There was this other guy who made it, and I'm like,
how did this guy make it, but not the other guy?
I don't know.
Yeah.
And
Right.
He's not doing well.
Right.
He's not doing well. And I think he even made it off probation. I'm like,
it's a little dangerous to fucking not be able to do your job and pass FTO, but then they pass you anyway.
yeah.
It's not like you're a fucking
it's a liability.
stock boy.
I don't want to wing with this guy.
Right.
Yeah, when you see people coming in as your backup, you look at me like, fuck.
This guy's
I
like, send me another
call
unit.
people off backup. I'm like, this person's. I'm like, no, I'll be all set.
Yeah.
I'll take my chances.
I'll just call for another unit. Hey, somebody else with a camera? Somebody with a fucking statement form? I know this person has it, but I just want somebody else there.
Yeah.
There's been times I've been on a call and the dude just fucking, everything's calm and they start fucking everything up.
Oh my God. Like that one asshole I
Shut your face, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what are you doing?
I just had this guy calm. Yeah.
What are you doing? You're fucking everything up.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, just go outside.
But I rolled up on a car and they had a file 20 in place between the passenger. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't like 100% sure if it was like a full no contact. And this one guy was walking up, and we got some guys on FTO right now. They're walking up, and I'm just like, stay back, stay back.
Yeah.
Like, do not, if you come up here, I'm going to cuss you out.
Because now, you're going to fuck everything up.
And this kid, he was like already starting like, because he knows he's had a record with us before.
Yeah.
So he knows if he fucks around, he's about to find out. And then I was just like, all right, I just had to double check. You're all set. He's like, is this? I'm like, no, dude, you're just getting a warning right now.
You're good.
Written warning. He's like, this isn't a criminal. I'm like, no, an infraction. This is, who gives a shit about this?
But the other guy could have turned into a fucking criminal shit.
Yeah. I was just like, let it go.
But that goes into like females in policing, right? I've seen online females escalating things when they don't need to, and then having their mouths be bigger than what they can handle.
Bigger than the bite.
Yes.
Yeah. Definitely stature takes a fucking... You know, see, all right, half of these people on the street can't stand women.
Yes.
So now when you have a female say something to them, they're already fucking pissed off.
Yes.
So they might escalate it more than if they saw a Meteor Man.
Right.
Because, like, fuck this, I'm fucking dealing with this shit. I'm not listening to this fucking... I ain't listening to this bitch. Fuck this bitch. Blah, blah, blah. So now she gets scared because another man, either she's not used to dealing with the criminal or the fucking asshole or an aggressive person. Now she sees another man coming at her, and instead of, like, trying to go hands-on or something, she goes straight for the fucking firearm or something else when it could have been avoided. But I don't know.
We got this one girl, actually, who she does the exact opposite, and it's still a problem. Because she'll let someone walk all over her, and now you have no command presence at all.
Nothing.
Right. You lost it. Yeah.
Literally had to be told over the air, put that person in custody.
Yeah. Take them, that's it.
They're committed an infraction, and they're not giving you ID.
We're done.
We're done here.
Yeah.
That's it. It should be. It's very quick.
Yeah.
I'll ask you like this. All right. I need your ID.
Yeah.
I'm not giving you. Why? I need your ID. So I'm going to do it one more time. And then that's it. It's not like the fucking YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Need your ID. No. Okay, we're gone.
And the reason why she's on the shift she's on is because we all know she's hiding out.
Right.
Yeah.
Hiding out. She's trying to get off.
Hide and
trying to
seek.
get off the road.
And you can see this online all the time, and you'll have, the issue is like you'll have like multiple females go to this call, like a call, right?
Yeah.
But then you have two females where they can't even control a suspect, right? Now they're calling for another backup. And of course, okay, it's a male or whatever, right?
Definitely in the physical. Yeah, the physical aspect, definitely. It should be, if there's a female, there should be a male there. Do you see what I'm saying?
But why? So that goes back to our last podcast, right? Should females be held to the male standards, and should there be a universal standard? Because if you can't have two females go to a call and handle an aggressive subject, right? Why do you need a third person there? And now the male is coming. Now that they know that, okay, now we have this under control. Because
sometimes there's like I say, there's more than one way to do a job.
Yeah.
There's been times where we have an attractive female in our department, and one of my classmate was with her, and he was like, "Dude, if she wasn't there, it was not happening." He calmed down because he liked her.
Yeah.
And he did everything she said.
Like you just said, and the opposite of hating the female, sometimes these dudes love their fucking mother. And they're like, damn, this is some dude's mother. Yeah. So actually it does work out every once in a while. Yeah. I don't know. I don't mind it there. I actually don't mind females there. It is what it is.
There's 2 times I went
it's just hands on. I get a little nervous.
The 2 first times I went hands on with somebody, females were there to back me up. One of them jumped, she was out of breath when we were done with it too. And so it was like, all right, you got my respect. And the other one, she didn't really need to be involved in that.
Yeah.
He was a little bit older guy. He was just being a drunk asshole. So I just took him down too.
Yeah.
So, but the fact is that they were engaged and they weren't nervous. When that other timid one, she had to go hands on one time, and then she's calling over the radio like, "Where's Meteor Man? Where's Meteor Man?" Like, oh, he's right around the corner. He's almost there. And I'm just like,
yeah, I'll be there.
And then when I got there, it was such a joke. And I'm just like, you're such a liability.
Yeah. It all depends on a person.
Yeah.
There's some dudes that are fucking
of course
with us that fucking
so
suck.
The issue is, right, females are what, 12% of law enforcement, right? And they're trying to go up to with a 30 by 30 is 30% of females need to be there by 2030. So
yeah,
is the percentage of females now, right? They can't. I don't want to say they can't handle themselves, but should the
we got some couple females in my department. I was like, I ain't fucking with her.
Right.
Yeah,
of course. There's always the exception, but the majority.
Right? No, you're right.
If there's 10 females, let's just say,
I can think of like 2 or 3 that.
If there's 10 females, right,
good.
And at least half of those females can't handle themselves in a call, right? That right there should tell you that there's a problem.
Yeah,
because they only make up the 12%.
Well, I mean, here's the problem: they meet the standard. meet the standard.
Right. So the question is, should the standard be raised for females, and they have to meet the male standard?
The male standard for physical agility.
Yes.
Well, when it comes to this stretch, then we have to meet the female standard
And we'll be fucked.
because they
That's
have to
a
go
good
farther.
one.
They have to go farther on the sit and reach.
Yeah, but let's just
That's
say
a
that
good
there's-
one.
We didn't have to go through a center reach. At least I didn't.
I
They
did.
did
let's
change
just-
that.
So let's just say,
Dude,
It's all about the stride.
yeah,
we go at the gym. We do the hitch stuff that you were talking about.
Yeah.
There's a chick, man. She runs marathons all the time. She dusts me all the time.
Yeah.
But now when we get to pull-ups and something else,
it's not the same.
Yeah, it's not the
no.
same.
So certain things could be the same. Certain things aren't.
The run, the sprint, the run, the mile and a half, yes, you can have the same standard. The sprint, no. Push-ups, no. Sit-ups, probably. Actually, I don't know because
Actually,
y'all
I don't
carry
know.
babies.
I
so
think
Yeah.
don't
push-ups
know
and
about
all that should all be the same.
We sure do.
Well, we fucking went a long goddamn time.
We
Yeah,
did.
we did.
I got so much fucking editing to do
The last one was on
between
you.
Charlie and Mike.
Yep. None were mean.
No, Meteor Man didn't fuck up.
No, I
did you?
I
Yes,
did.
he
I
did.
fucked up once.
He did.
And it was like a kind of fuck up.
I don't think it was that much of a fuck up, but either way. All right, motherfuckers, we're out. This should be a fucking two-parter.
It should be.
Might have to do that.
It
Whole
should
police
be.
section could be a second part.
Yeah.
I might have to do that. All right, we're out, motherfuckers. Peace out.
ya.
Bye.
Later.